Welcome to a new year of reading, research, and technology in the Westwood Media Center. Hi, boys and girls. This is a short orientation video that you're going to need to watch before you come to the library for your first book checkout. In the Media Center, you'll find the following people: Mrs. Caro, Mrs. Thompson, and Miss Jaycox. What do we do here for you in the Media Center? Well, our favorite thing is to help you find books. This year you'll also see QR codes posted around the Media Center. Those will allow you to read ebooks on your devices. In the Media Center, we work closely together to ensure that each time you visit, you're finding books for enjoyment or books to do projects that your teacher assigns. We'll also help you with learning technology skills and tools, especially this year as you're all getting new devices. We'll also help you do research. Sometimes it's for a classroom project, but often it's just because you have a new interest, and so we'll help you find books that will allow you to do research on that topic. Our learning targets for today are to review the Media Center guidelines. I will talk to you about expectations while you're here visiting, how to care for books correctly, how to use Mr. Markers, and the procedures for doing book checkout. By the time you're done with the video, you should be ready to come into the Media Center and check out materials the correct way. It's really important, boys and girls, that you follow our Westwood policies. We're always safe, kind, responsible, and respectful. In the Media Center, some ways that you can be kind are to help each other out. Sometimes a boy or a girl might forget how to use their Mr. Marker. They may not quite remember that we use quiet voices, and so you could give a gentle reminder. They might need help finding a book by an author of a book that you've just checked out. And so if you help each other out, that's examples of being kind. It's important that we stay safe in the Media Center. We have a lot of shelving units, tables, computers, so it's really important that you always use walking feet and you always know where you're going. Please use materials appropriately while you're here in the Media Center. We need to be respectful to all of the books, the computers, the tables, and the chairs, so that all of those things will be around for a long time so that lots of boys and girls can use them. You need to use your time wisely while you're here in the Media Center, boys and girls. You need to be responsible for doing the right thing, getting Mr. Marker, doing your book checkout, checking out your materials, and then sitting down to read them until your teacher tells you that it's time to go. Common questions that boys and girls will ask before checkout is, how many books can I check out from the Media Center? Some general guidelines. Kindergartners check out 1 book each time that they're here. First and second graders, 2 books. And students in grades 3, 4, and 5 can check out 3. Now there will be times when your teacher may assign you a project. If that happens, you can always check out additional books in order to complete that project. If you have any books that are overdue, however, you won't be allowed to do any book checkout until those books are returned. When you check out a book, it can be checked out to you for 1 week. So for example, if you have library checkout on a Tuesday and you check out some books, they'll be due the following Tuesday. Now, as you're getting into reading longer books, sometimes a week isn't long enough. So then you can always renew them. To renew them, keep the books with you in your classroom, and then when you come for checkout, you can just scan them again at the checkout counter. That will allow you to keep your books for another week. In the Media Center, if somebody asks you to show 5, just like anywhere else in the school, that means that you stop what you're doing, you put your hand up so we can see all 5 of your fingers, and you do the following. You have your eyes on whoever is speaking to you, you have your ears ready for listening, your mouths are closed, your body is calm. And after you've done that, you need to listen to the message or the directions by whoever the adult is that asked you to show 5. What are these? I hope they look familiar to most of you. These are our favorite Mr. Markers. When you come into the Media Center, the first thing that you'll do for book checkout is to take a Mr. Marker. And we always just take the first one we touch from the blue bin. We use these Mr. Markers as we're doing checkout so that they will mark the spot in case you decide you don't want a book. It'll help you to remember where to put it right back on the shelf so that other people can find it. Using your Mr. Marker correctly keeps our shelves neat and in order. We don't ever want the shelves to look like this, boys and girls. Book checkout and return. These are kind of the policies that we require for you for doing your book checkout. When you first come into the Media Center, you'll either sit on the carpet or kind of stand around the table where your cards and Mr. Markers are, and your teacher may have some instructions, or Mrs. Caro or Miss Thompson may need to give you some directions before you do book checkout for that day. When you're given permission, you'll take a Mr. Marker, walk around the Media Center to find your books, and then when you're ready, you can walk back to the table, put your Mr. Marker in the blue bin, and find your library card. After you've done that, you can walk over to the checkout counter. You'll line up along the counter, keeping your toes off the carpet unless it's your turn for book checkout. You'll scan your library card first, put your fingers on your face, and then scan the barcode under the red light. You'll put that away in the basket, and then you can scan your books. Returning your books. We'd like you to return them right away in the morning, boys and girls. If you look up on the library schedule, and it says that you have library, or you hear your name, classroom name announced on KDWW telling it's your library checkout day, those should be some clues to you that you need to get those books into the book basket in your classroom so that they can be returned. We'd like to have all books returned on your checkout day by 9:30. This will allow Miss Thompson or Mrs. Caro to get the books checked in and lists sent out to your teacher. Your teacher will show you the list on their smartboard before you come in so that you'll know if you can check out that day or not. It will also be a good reminder of the books that you still have checked out. And it's really everybody's responsibility in the classroom to remind the library helper or helpers to bring the books down. So if it's past 9:30 and you still see a basket of books in your classroom and your teacher hasn't reminded the library helper, please go ahead and do that. It's really important that we get all of those books checked in for you before you come. Taking care of your books. Remember, boys and girls, once the books leave the Media Center, it's your responsibility to take good care of them. At home, if you have pets or younger brothers and sisters, make sure that you're finding a high shelf to put your books on. When you take books home, they should go home in your backpack, and your backpack hopefully does not look like this. You want to keep your books neat and tidy like this, and you also want to make sure that you don't have water bottles or other juice or food products inside of your library book or inside of your backpack near your library books. When you're holding your books and walking around the school, you don't want to look like this guy. It's important that you have your books closed and that you're giving them a hug, you're using walking feet, and your eyes are going forward down the hall. It's really important that you take good care of our books. Please don't bend the pages or rip them or try to tape or repair anything at home. If something happens to a book, please let one of us know, and we will also have bookmarks near the checkout desk. Each time you do book checkout, you can go ahead and take one book so that you don't have to bend the pages. Remember that you'll have checkout the same day each week, so it's important that you return your books. Make sure that you know if you have checkout on a Thursday, Wednesday night you pack up your books so that you can bring them back to school and get new ones. When you're at school or when you're at home, it's really important that you don't drink anything while you're reading your books or eat food. Because remember, if you ruin a book, you'll be responsible for paying for it. In addition to this orientation video, boys and girls, your teacher will probably have some additional expectations or requirements. So you can take some time and listen to them as well. But for the Media Center, you're ready to come in and do book checkout correctly. And we can't wait to help you find Just Right and Just Because books here. Here's some reading posters that I would like to leave you with. I especially love the 10 ways that you can become a better reader. Thank you for listening and watching. And remember, this is everybody's shared space. It's up to all of us to take good care of it, each other, and our books and our technology. We'll see you soon.